Hello and welcome back to the Hoof Football Podcast. Where today I'm wearing an Osasuna shirt, actually, which audio listeners won't know. There might be some kind of audio description, maybe. You know, like you get on some TikTok videos where it's like some audio description in the background describing the scene that you're watching. Maybe you'll get that. Might be Charlie's voice doing it. I don't know. Charlie, you got time to record that? I'm joined
Might do,
today.
yeah.
I'm joined today by Charlie, in his audio description voice, and Lewis as well, who has got a lovely World Cup and Chelsea display up behind him. Um,
Thank you.
I love the World Cup wall chart. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Have you been writing anything in so far, or?
No, mate, it's not started yet. It's starting next month, actually.
Oh
I
yeah,
think, yeah,
yeah,
it's an easy mistake. I think that's an easy mistake.
silly
But
mate.
no,
Silly.
FIFA haven't made it that big and like inflated that it's now starting in like the start of January or something. No,
Yeah,
it's not
we're
like
like
a league
doing like
phase yet.
2016 World Cup soon.
Yeah, yeah,
That's coming soon. That's coming soon.
that's coming
Um,
2030.
yeah, let's hope so. Big game for Chelsea coming up. Big game for Chelsea coming up. Bigger game for Chelsea just happened.
Yeah, I
Lewis.
was just gonna say.
I mean, you missed the game. I watched it. You were actually all right, to be fair. But you lost the cup final. But you have brought in Xabi Alonso as your manager. How are you feeling about that?
It's an interesting one because as a Chelsea fan, I felt that going into this kind of managerial appointment that we were going to be very fortunate to get some of the names that were out there. And Xabi Alonso was one of them where I thought, what's his kind of interest in coming to Chelsea right now with the chaos at the club, the ownership? But you've got to kind of, it's a small win in the way that you've got to celebrate as a Chelsea fan the fact that we have managed to obviously get him to come to the club. Whether it will be successful is yet to be known. And I'm not going to put any pressure on it. You know, he's a manager with a great reputation. But I'm just going to take it as it comes, really, with this ownership and with kind of the way that the last couple of seasons have gone. I think, yeah, the FA Cup final, it would have been nice if we could have got that easy route into Europe with the FA Cup win. It's looking increasingly unlikely that we're going to get anything in terms of, you know, a top maybe seven finish. I'm scared with the Tottenham game because even though we always beat Spurs, which is always the motto with Chelsea, this Chelsea team and the mentality going into such a crucial game, I don't know. I think maybe Tottenham do get a win or at least a draw. It screams of a draw. I'm going to go with.
You can't lose this one to Spurs. You can't be doing that. This is the one where if you beat them, you could keep them, in the relegation fight, and could give yourself a big chance of Europe. You can't lose
My,
this.
my point, my thinking is just I don't back the mentality of these players treating this game with the attention that it should. Like the players of old and the whole kind of fan base and the morale and kind of treating this derby as what it should be. I don't think them players go into this game with that same sense of kind of treating it with such importance, and that's my fear where we just get turned over because we've got nothing to play for in the season. But I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise me. Like you said, we looked okay in the FA Cup final. Levi Cole coming back was a big kind of win. So we'll have to see.
Just as an aside, super quick, what is your score prediction for Chelsea Spurs?
1-1.
1-1. Okay. To who? No, I'm making. 1-1. 1-1. Okay, Charlie. Not a lot's changed for Hull since we last played. I mean, you know who you might be playing in the playoff final now. Um,
Yeah,
you don't know when or where it's going to be played though. So
no.
that's a whole mess in it. What any thoughts on Spygates? There's no point me getting involved. We know what I think.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I kind of, I've already got my ticket for Wembley, which is great, but I've not bothered getting a train ticket just yet because there literally could possibly be a delay until perhaps next week. I just, yeah, it's annoying for obviously for Middlesbrough fans. It is annoying, and like I can sympathise with them because I mean you've felt you've basically been cheated. But for Hull fans, it's annoying because it's that thing where kind of we're looking forward to the playoff final, but this Spygate situation's kind of, I don't know, ruining the build up to the final. And it's that kind of uncertainty of, oh, well, are we actually going to play this weekend or is it going to be next week? Is it going to be on a different day? But it's not really something to get too stressed about. So yeah, we'll just wait to see what EFL decision is made when I think it's on Tuesday. I think when
Yeah, they said Tuesday was the latest, so we'll see.
yeah,
I mean, I've said to you a lot before. I've not said it on record. I just want Southampton to be punished. I don't think we should get put into the final. We didn't win. you know.
Yeah, I agree with
Like,
that.
give it whole, but they won't because they'll want the playoff final because it's a big money maker. So I imagine I feel like it will just be Southampton in the final, and they'll get a big fine and a suspended points deduction, and it'll all have been a waste of time. But let's hope not. Let's hope they get liquidated. Okay, right. We're not talking about liquidating Southampton Football Club today, and I will just stress those are the views of me and not the views of everyone else on the Hoof It Football podcast. Taylor Howard Bellis is a rat, though. That's the view of everyone on the Hoof It Football podcast. We
I
all.
agree with
Yeah,
that.
he is. He is. He
Um,
is.
anyway, I'm going to keep my head. Today, we're talking about players who are going to be kind of ready to make the jump. Ala and Antoine Semenyo, what he's just done, and Mark Gahey. Now we're avoiding the obvious talking points today, like an Elliot Anderson, like a Mateus Fernandez, because they're pretty much nailed on for a big move coming up. We're talking about kind of the ones that are less spoken about, the ones who are kind of maybe flying a little bit under the radar, but we think next season really could just make that next level, as it were. So I'll start first, and my one is someone that I've already fangirled over this season on this podcast. It's Jean Paul Van Heck, which, to be honest, I don't think is the most niche shout at all. I've heard a lot of people talking about him, um, but he is just class, isn't he? Like, I can't really see a world in which he's at Brighton next season, because I just feel like he's gonna make a big move. Like, he's 26 now. He's about to come into his prime. He's at kind of top level on most defensive metrics, and probably more importantly, equally important, when I watch him, he's really silky, but he's also really effective. So like he's really good on the ball, but he's so good at winning that ball back, winning those aerial duels. I think his positioning's good a lot of the time when I watch him. He's just a quality player. I think Chelsea would be great with him. Whether you'd get him, I don't know. But I could see him making that kind of jump. Maybe a Liverpool, as if Kanate does go, like he'd be good there. He's played with Van Dijk. I just think he's ready for that next level now. Normally you'd be touting him for a Spurs, but they're shit. So no, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, lads. And Jean Paul Van
No,
Heck.
I do think you're right with the Chelsea link there in terms of he's probably one that is easily overlooked. I think he's not maybe the most attractive name in the sense of like maybe a Dean Hyson, a Tapsoba, some of the names that are linked with Chelsea. However, he definitely is someone under the radar who is a consistent performer for Brighton, who is probably one of their most consistently kind of performers, I'd say, in the Premier League. And his stock's risen this season. So maybe, like you say, I agree that next season is that kind of time for him to make that next step and move to a bigger club. I think Liverpool would be a suitable option as well. Yeah.
Charlie?
Yeah, Van Hecker was a player that I did look at, and yeah, the Chelsea link. It's just one of them where you can picture him being at Chelsea. I don't know what everyone else thinks of that, but it's one of them where surely eventually is going to be a point where he's going to be moving to either a top six club or a side who are at the minimum going to get Europa League football. I can really see him play in the Champions League at some stage, but yeah, he's a quality defender. I think it'd be such a not necessarily a waste or a shame, but the fact how he doesn't get that big move, which I think
Mm.
he deserves.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say though is that obviously if Brighton do qualify for Europe, he has got that entry into Europe through Brighton, and it's also quite timely that you've mentioned him on the day that he made a horror mistake in the last minute to give Leeds the win. So yeah,
Oh,
I will
yeah, that was
say
a good
I was
take.
in work, so let's not be having this. I finished work. I got home from work about an hour ago. So
No, I know, Ben. I'm sorry.
let's hold the horses here. I have to wash my ass. I was covered in bin juice. So let's just calm it down. Well, I've gone Jean Paul Van Heck. I just think he's quality. I know you say about Brighton, probably being in Europe and Chelsea probably not, but I still just think, money talks, the prestige of the club talks, and also Chelsea love signing someone from Brighton. So, they'll just bring him in and probably the tea lady, and that'll help him bed in. You know on Football Manager where you can have that clause of saying you'll bring someone else in to make him fit in. Yeah, they'll do that probably. Charlie, who have you got for us, mate?
there's like quite a few options which I there's a good mix which I really wanted to kind of have like a main one to pick from, and the name that I've gone with is Gustavo Harmer from Sheffield United. He, for me, is a player who I'm actually quite surprised he stayed at the club this season. I thought he was going to get a move to the Prem, even in the winter transfer window, but surprisingly never did. Wilder probably just wants to keep him because he knows how much quality he produces. So in his past 2 seasons, I mean, this season he grabbed 17 goal contributions, 12 assists, 5 goals. Last season, 10 goals, 8 assists. He is someone that does pick up a lot of bookings, but I just think he's one of them. He's one of them players where he can play in kind of different positions. Sometimes he plays a left wing, which is kind of most of the time, but he can play in a cam or a central midfield position. So I think he's someone who can really be an impact in the Prem. I feel like that should be his next move. Is a club like, I don't know, like Everton just seems to draw to me with Harmer. I think he could really suit being on that left hand side, or if there's, for instance, squad rotation, let's say, I mean, I don't know how likely it is now. If Everton somehow do get European football, then I don't know if that's still a thing, is it? I don't know how many points they are away.
They're on the
Still a
fringes.
potential.
They're
I mean,
still,
a lot of teams can get in there, but they're there.
yeah, that's true. But it's just one of them where I think he'd be even good, like as a rotation. Let's say whether they got European football or not. I think he's great for rotation, so you can put it in the cam or left wing, just one of those two positions. I just think he's someone who he presents so much danger to an opposition, especially down that left hand side. I've seen it so many times in the Championship where there's so many teams that try and deal with Harmer because they know he presents such a threat, but can never really prevent him from making a cross in the box or, for instance, scoring or making an assist. And I just think he's one of them players which sort of reaches out to me as someone who shouldn't be in the Championship. He should be getting that move to the Prem, and I think it should be happening by next season.
That's interesting because I feel like I've not heard much about Gustavo Harmer this season. I genuinely thought he'd had a down year, and I don't know if maybe that's just because he is a player of that level that we just expect him to get somewhere around the 20 goal contribution mark every season. So it's not a surprise. Like, I wonder if there's something in it to that. Lewis, I know you're not much of a Championship fan. Do you know much about Gustavo Harmer? Have you watched much of Gustavo Harmer?
I
Or
like the Dutch links that are going on here. We've got two back-to-back Dutch players there. I'm going to have to break that in a minute, but no, obviously, I think he had one season, I believe, with Sheffield United in the Prem, and then obviously he's not had a great. Well, Sheffield United have not had a great season, as you said, so that's maybe why he's gone more under the radar. I know that he's a quality kind of technical player. I remember he did score a long shot against Mansfield Town in the FA Cup this season, but no, he's definitely someone that's on the brink of kind of that cusp of joining maybe a newly promoted team. Was he not at Coventry
yeah,
before? So
Yeah, it was a
potentially,
Coventry, yeah.
yeah, potentially maybe rejoining Coventry when obviously they go up. I can see him going to maybe a newly promoted team or kind of a mid-table Prem club. So yeah, I don't see that as being a bad take.
yeah. No, I don't hate it at all. I don't hate it at all. Still haven't forgiven him for scoring the heartbreak goal against us in the Carrick season, but yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Lewis, you mentioned you're going to break the Dutch streak.
Yeah.
Who with?
I'm also going to break the kind of theme because you've both gone for players in terms of a transfer that makes that next step.
Okay.
Now the player that I've gone for he's going to take the next step in terms of more of a development perspective. So I've gone for someone that is quite kind of. I've got two, but I'll go for the main one first. That I've got a youngster who kind of has come to the Premier League this season, and then I expect him next season to really push on and be kind of the starting striker. And the player is Charalampos Kostoulas at Brighton. So he's 18 years old, and I think he's only had 19 games this season. However, he's actually up there with the highest shots on target. So he's got the most in the Premier League, and he's also got the fourth highest for shots per 90, which means that he doesn't play much, but when he comes on, he's someone that is always creating opportunities and chances in front of goal. He's only got 2 goals this season, but one of them was an amazing overhead kick against, I think it was Bournemouth. And I just think that this season was his season when he joined for £30 million from Olympiacos to really bed in and obviously get some experience of Premier League football. And I can see next season with Danny Welbeck obviously aging, although he's showing no signs of slowing down, I think that he will become more of an important player to replace Danny Welbeck or kind of rotate with him next season. And I think Brighton obviously are like bread and butter in terms of knowing what to do with young players and developing them. You know, the likes of Caicedo and others, like a what other players, in the past. So for me, it's a perfect pathway where he could be the next big star that eventually might be sold on later on. So for me, like the Olympiacos sporting director called him a marvel of nature. I don't know if that's going to become true, but I just think I'm interested to see him kick on next season. And I think that he is someone to watch because he's so clinical in front of goal. And when I watched him in the bit against Leeds today, I just thought he looks so sharp and he's a very technical player that likes to play in that kind of. He's very similar to João Pedro, I would say, in terms of like a false nine. He likes to drop a little bit deeper. And he's just a very technical player who I think has got a big future.
Hmm. I like that. You've interpreted the question a different way, which I like. I like. Yeah. I mean, I've not seen much of him. He's been subject to a lot of cameos off the bench, but very young. Like he turns 19 in 13 days, which, by the way, lads, means he was born in 2007. Not to make us
Yeah.
feel older, but that is horrible. That is a truly horrifying realization. But good on you, Castulas. Yeah, yeah, I like. I know what you mean. That overhead kick, it was solid. Like he looks like a tiny player. Obviously, Welbeck's getting older now. He's what, 34, 35. Like Costulas is probably the long term heir there, possibly the short term heir there, right, as well. I don't mind it, Charlie. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a smart choice. I definitely agree with you in terms of, again, how Brighton use their youth players. I think they do use them well. There was another Brighton player, well, he loanee at Coventry, Carl Rushworth, the keeper, who has been absolutely fantastic in the Championship. I don't know whether he is going to plan on either having an actual, well, to actually join or sign Coventry, or if he will stay with Brighton. Because if so, then it kind of have that competition in net between Verbruggen and Rushworth. But yeah, I think it's good to really see that maybe, depending on how maybe Brighton could sell next season, whether it'll be the one striker or the two, it can be good competition against Danny Welbeck, but at the same time it works if they do have the two strikers. It could be a good partnership, especially with the fact how youth players can work so well with veterans. They give off the experience to the younger players. That allows them to adapt well in the league. I think I think it's a good choice. It's definitely something I would have never thought to have gone with.
Hmm. Yeah, my mind definitely wasn't geared that way. I
I mean, I've
rate it.
got the other interesting one I had, but I think it's a little bit more obvious, was Ryan at Bournemouth. Obviously, he's more well known. He's the bigger name. But the fact that he's got kind of 5 goals, 2 assists in 13 games, and he scored three in three, I think he's just a very unique style player in terms of, I think next season he will push on and have that next level of. Obviously, he's going to be there from the start with Bournemouth. We don't know about European football just yet, but for me, it's like Jermaine Defoe. Not saying obviously he's the kind of the byword of what, but he said he reminds him of Gareth Bale, and for me, it's that physical kind of powerful, strong, like the strength that he has. Like he's such a long distance carrier, kind of on the transition is the things that I'm hearing. He's very good with his aerial duels. So yeah, I think he was obviously a Semenyo replacement that came in January. From Brazil, and I think that he's someone that can definitely kick on. Is already showing signs that he's very shrewd, but very good and intelligent piece of business by Bournemouth, who again are well known for their kind of business with picking up players at a low fee, like Krupi as well, who's another one, and obviously potentially they can sell them off.
Yeah, having him and Krupi is crazy. I mean, I will say the Krupi thing. I'm pretty sure he was part of their ownership group already, so that's part of why they got him so young.
Yeah,
But don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. I've got a couple of other smaller ones as well because we'll run through a few names kind of in less detail. I do want to shout out Aidan Morris, obviously Middlesbrough fan, Middlesbrough player. It's natural that I'm going to mention him, but Charlie, you've seen some of him as well. He is quality. I think he's a Premier League player in waiting.
Yeah,
Like we may have been on the losing side against Southampton, but he absolutely bossed the midfield for those two games. He's just so good. Obviously, Hayden Hackney's leaving us. The only hope is that Aidan Morris stays. And to be fair, I think he will. He was seen kind of at the end of the playoff semi-final after we lost, tapping the badge, kind of giving it all that, saying I'm here. So I think we've got him for one more year. It's probably similar to Hackney this season. If we don't go up, he goes. But yeah, Aidan Morris is a Premier League player I'm waiting. The other one I've got is probably similar to Costulas in a way, in that it's someone, not making a move, just at a current Premier League side, not been getting too many minutes this season, relatively young, not as young as Castulas, but I've gone with Oscar Bob.
yeah,
Because I don't think we've seen at Fulham everything we're going to see from Oscar Bob so far. Obviously, when he was at City, he had that great goal against Newcastle. He had some moments of quality. And he's just been quite injury hit for a while since then. He's not really hit the ground running at Fulham, just a lot of cameos off the bench. But with Harry Wilson probably leaving, I'm pretty sure that's all but confirmed at this point. There will be a gap for Fulham next season, and I think he's the man to fill it. Like we've seen, he has that quality. He's very young. I think Oscar Bob next season. I don't know if he's going to have the same kind of season Harry Wilson's had, where he gets. I don't know if he's got exactly double figures in both goals and assists, but I don't think he's far off. But Oscar Bob, I think next season he could kind of justify that transfer fee. I don't think he'll be another Emil Smith Rowe, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie, have you got any more names to throw in the mix, or any thoughts on anything I've just mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, Hayden Hackney was definitely one, and I think it's one of them where, as much as Middlesbrough would absolutely love him to stay, which will probably be a miracle if he does.
Oh, absolute miracle.
It's. I think I saw there was a link with Newcastle United, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong in that. I don't know, but he's definitely someone who's Premier League bound for sure. And I think, yeah, literally has been one of the best players in the Championship this season. So there's no argument there. There's two players that I have. One of them we kind of mentioned on a different episode about if we were to do if you to be the new manager of Liverpool, essentially Xabi Alonso, which hasn't aged well because he's going to be taking charge of Chelsea now. But I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was you, Lewis, that mentioned Jan Kuba-Minter from Brighton. I think he's someone that could step up to just, I guess, any team who basically gets Champions League football next season. I think he's a right good player. Always poses a threat and danger whenever he's going forward. Can always provide a goal and assist whenever he can. Another player which is in the Championship could maybe go into the Prem if Hull do win in the playoff final is Charlie Hughes. He's been someone that a lot of people have kind of looked at thinking, well, surely he's going to be playing in the Premier League at some stage. He's a great centre-half, great defensively, but also he's very confident on the ball, which I think for centre-halves, that's something that Premier League clubs want to look out for if they have that confidence on the ball. And Hughes has that, especially with his passing from either short or long. It's great. I think there was a point where he was maybe linked with Crystal Palace when Gahey left for City. There was that potential link that Hughes would go in January. Never happened. Whether they're going to delay that for next season, I don't know. But yeah, I just think he's a quality centre half. And as much as I would love to keep him, I don't know if there just would be there would be better options. It's just depending on if he would take them or not.
Lewis, you got any more names to chuck around quickly, or any thoughts on what
Yeah.
Charlie brought up there?
No, just coming from a Chelsea perspective, I think that Joel Hatto, he's had a very difficult kind of first season at Chelsea. He wasn't really utilised under Enzo Maresca, and then we've seen glimpses under Liam Rossini, and now obviously the interim manager. I do think that if he's given more consistent minutes, and also he was more suited to a back three at Ajax, where obviously he first kind of got his name. So for me, if Xabi Alonso comes in next season, gives him that kind of first team action and belief in him, I think that he is a very, very talented centre back. He has also been in the Dutch setup, but probably won't make the World Cup. So will probably be fresh when he comes back in the summer. So I think he's one to watch. And just to find one who might get a move, Tyreek George. I think for me, it's about time now that he does make that next step. He needs to leave Chelsea, is my main point. He's at Everton. I don't know if there's a buy clause. I know there was something floating around about 20, 25 million. It's not been great at Everton. He's shown glimpses. But yeah, I think now he's a talented player. I don't think we're going to utilise him at Chelsea. And I think that he deserves to maybe get a move, maybe to a newly promoted Championship club, or at least kind of a mid-table Prem club, because he is a very versatile forward who I think has got qualities.
Well, there you have it. That is a couple of players there who we think are kind of ready to make that next move, either from the Championship club to the Premier League, or kind of from a lower Premier League club to a higher Premier League club, or just at their current club, just hitting that next level and really kind of showing everything they can be. So let us know if you agree with any of the takes we've had, or if you don't, let us know as well. All abuse directed to Charlie's email, which will be in the comments section. Thank you very much. We will be back shortly for a quiz, so we'll catch you in a sec. Welcome back to Hoof It, where it's time for the lineup quiz. And everyone cheered at home, I'm sure. Woo-hoo. So, thanks for that, guys. Okay, kind of threw me off a little bit there, but we'll keep going. So on Monday night, which may or may not have passed you by when you listen to this, Arsenal host Mike Jackson's Burnley. looking for a win that would put one hand pretty tentatively, but still on there, on the title. And, poll pressure fully on City to beat Bournemouth just to even stay in the title race. So, with this in mind, today we're looking back at the last time these two sides met on the penultimate match of the season, way back on the 6th of May 2018. So, just over 8 years ago now, which, is also fun. I was in year 10 at that point. Now, I'm sure the Gunners would be looking to recreate that particular result because they ran out 5-0 victors on the day. But I want you to tell me who started for that well-beaten Burnley side on the 6th of May 2018 at the Emirates. Who started for Burnley? And it was a 4-2-3-1, if you must know.
Tell you what, Josh has really missed out on this one. That would have been a.
There's a reason I've waited till Josh is here to ask for a Burnley lineup. I'd like to think he'd get all 11.
I would hope so.
If he didn't get minimum like 9, I'd be disappointed. The Arsenal team is kind of classic Arsenal of the time, where you've got Kolasinac, you've got Mavropanos, you've got Cech, you've got Bellerin, you've got Mertesacker knocking around. Midfield three of Xhaka, Wilshere, and Iwobi, which I love. I love Alex Iwobi. I love that guy. Henrik Mkhitaryan starting for him. Lacazette, Aubameyang, just all of the main boys. You've got Ainsley Maitland-Niles on the bench. You know, real ones know him from the Who Told Him to Come Off His Line, bruv. That's where real ones know him from. Obviously, this was a Burnley side managed by Sean Dyche, who isn't going up for Reform UK. If everyone can just recall that, please. That is AI doctored. Sean Dyche is not a Reform UK politician. Important to remember in these interesting political times, shall we say. Anyone? How are we getting on? How many names have we got?
I've got 8. I've got 8. I just need the final attackers.
I'm kind of struggling a bit. What? Just remind me what the lineup was.
It was a 4-2-3-1, mate.
Right.
It was a 4
Oh,
2
God.
3 1.
Oh, I'm torn between two strikers,
Mm.
but I don't know if surely.
I can't think of a left winger or
Mm.
like a left midfielder.
I think from looking at this, how many would I expect? I'd expect somewhere between 4 and 6, I think, which I know is normally the range that I'd expect on these lineups. That's generally where I try and aim it. I'm like, you can probably get half the team if you switch your brain on. The rest
Okay.
of it, interesting.
I've got 11. I've got 11.
Okay, Charlie?
I don't have 11. I'm just going to put one. Oh, I've thought of one more, but
That's
I
good.
think I've got 8, to be honest. I'm really not. I'm really struggling. I'm just going to have to go with it because
Have to
I'm.
go with 8. He's put himself at
Yeah.
disadvantage. Um,
Yeah.
well, Lewis,
Josh is
we'll
on.
start with you, seeing as you've got a
Okay.
full 11.
One of them I just chucked in for Bant, if I'm honest, because I couldn't think of the left midfielder.
Okay.
Nick Pope in goal.
Mm-hmm.
Lowton, Tarkovsky, Michael Keane, and Taylor. I can't remember which Taylor it is.
Charlie Taylor.
Charlie Taylor, that's the one. Johan Berg Gudmundsson, I think that's his name. We've got him at right mid. I've gone for George's Kevin and Keely,
I
but
like
why
it.
not? Let's go for it.
I like it.
Ashley Westwood and Jack Cork, and then the big two: Ashley Barnes and Sam Vokes.
Okay. Okay. Charlie, what have you got for us?
Okay. So in goal, I've gone the same. I've gone Nick Pope.
Okay.
Right back, I've gone with. I'm sure he was at Burnley at this time. Phil Bardsley.
Okay.
I've got two centre backs of Ben Mee and James Tarkowski.
Okay.
I have literally just one central midfielder, which is Jack Cork. The wingers I've got is Aaron Lennon and Jonathan Walters.
Wow.
And then up, and then up front, I've gone with Ashley Barnes.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Um, well, I can exclusively reveal that neither of you've got all 11. It was unexpected. But we'll go through the bench. On the bench,
You'd
Tom
be
Heaton.
surprised if Charlie got all 11, by the way, given that he said
Yeah, I
eight.
was just gonna say.
Yeah, fair point. Fair point. Fair point. Tom Heaton's on the bench. Other people on the bench include Charlie Taylor. He is on the include Phil Bardsley. He's on the bench.
Oh,
Dean Marney is on the bench. Naki Wells is on the bench. Sam Vokes is on the bench, guys. Sam
Down.
Vokes is on the bench. And I love that you pulled this shout out, Lewis, but he is on the bench. George, Kevin, and Kudu.
Wait, that was actually the right season. Fair enough.
I forgot he played at Burnley. When I saw that, immediate vibes. But yeah, he was on the bench. Okay. Well, the team goes as follows. Team goes as follows. Nick Pope is in goal, as expected. As expected. Matt Lowton is at right back, which I thought was one of the ones that you should have got, Charlie. I think you overcomplicated that.
yeah, I did.
That was one of the dead set ones I thought you were going to get, as was James Tarkowski. Now the rest of the back four is interesting because it's not Ben Mee. It's not whoever Lewis said. I've forgotten.
Oh wait, you're gonna is it because he used to play for Middlesbrough as in Ben Gibson?
It's not Ben Gibson. It's
Oh,
Kevin
damn.
Long at centre half.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And the left back, any thoughts now? It's not Charlie Taylor.
Didn't they have a guy? What's his name? Ward.
It's Stephen Ward. Stephen
Yeah,
Ward at
he was
left
in my
back.
mind.
Lord.
Ward at left back. The two midfielders, Jack Cork, Ashley Westwood. Again, Charlie, you're missing out on Ashley Westwood. That's poor.
Yeah, it's
Lowton and
terrible.
Westwood, those are two kind of nailed on ones that you should be getting. Another one that I think I'm disappointed none of you said, Jeff Hendrick.
Oh,
Oh,
for
Jeff Hendrick,
goodness
guys.
sake.
What are we doing? The long-haired assassin. How have we missed out on Jeff Hendrick? Um, and then you've got Aaron Lennon off the right. So props back to Charlie for saying that. You've got Goodmanson off the left. He was off the left.
yes.
And up top, you've got Ashley Barnes, which
Okay.
Oh,
leaves us sitting on Lewis with a score of 7 and Charlie with a score of 5.
Okay.
So you have won the lineup game, Lewis.
Come on, up the Burnley.
As we can say. But Charlie, I think you've got to be disappointed in yourself there because if
yeah,
you
I'm
just said
disappointed with
Westwood
that.
and Lowton,
Yeah,
that's a draw.
To be fair, I feel like I don't know why, but every single lineup we ever have that has Aaron Lennon, or even if he's not in the lineup, Charlie always will say Aaron Lennon.
Yeah,
Like if it's an Everton team, a Tottenham
I
team,
know what you mean.
even an England team, it's always Aaron Lennon for Charlie.
it's
Love
just a
Aaron
good
Lennon.
name to throw out there. He's been to like so many different clubs, and it's just a good guess, I think.
He's
Fair
just
enough.
he's just a lovely guy. He's just a lovely guy, as Aaron Lennon.
Yes.
And he's not flogging sunglasses like Andros Townsend. So that's a bonus. Speaking of bonuses, I do have a bonus question. Now, I could make it worth 3 points just for fun, to give Charlie the
Do a
win.
winner takes all if you want.
I am. It's worth 3 points. This question.
Okay, here we go.
You've still got a chance to redeem yourself. And the question is, and it's the closest to, how many league table positions separated Arsenal and Burnley at the end of that season? How many league table positions?
2018, yeah?
2018 season.
Oh,
18 to
hold on a
9,
minute.
18 to
The
19.
17-18 season, mate.
Oh, right, sorry, right.
Oh, I can't. There was a season Burnley did finish rather well in like the top half. I am wondering if they lost 5-0, did they, in that last game of the
They lost
season?
second last game of the season, they lost 5-0 to Arsenal, yeah.
Second last.
They sure did. They sure did.
How many spaces? Okay.
Laminat scored that game as well, as did Iwobi. Which is lovely. What
I've
do you
got
think?
an answer.
Yeah, I think I may be stupid with this answer, but I'm gonna go with it.
Okay. Charlie, go first, mate.
I've gone with 7 spaces.
Okay. Lewis?
That's really interesting because I went with the same logic as you, Charlie, and I've gone 5.
Well, I can tell you that
Oh, it's
this
going to be
is the
6.
season that Burnley did well.
Yeah.
This is the season that Burnley got into Europe. But it's also the season that Arsenal dropped down and didn't do.
Oh,
And
Wait, where did they fit?
well, the final, Burnley finished 7th.
Yeah.
Arsenal finished 6th. The answer
Oh,
is
it's 1. Oh.
which means Lewis
God.
has won. Lewis has won. But I saw that and I thought it needed commenting on because the fact that, thinking about it now, Burnley finished one place below Arsenal in the Premier League.
To be fair,
Mm.
I feel really bad for the Burnley fans and also Burnley as a football club because when I first just heard automatically the name Burnley, I automatically in my head went 18th.
Yeah.
And then I realised they actually had a season or two where they were okay, and I had to change my answer in my head.
Yep. Yep. Charlie, you should have kept your cards close to your chest there, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm actually
Would
kind of
Lewis have
annoyed with
realised that?
myself for that. I kind of, for some reason, thought Arsenal would finish Champions League then, but would that have been Wenger at the time? Oh no, no, it would have been
Yeah, it's still
Emery, I
Wenger.
think. Oh, is it still Wenger?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
do think your logic was sound, but I think for you to then say seven based off thinking it might be the year Burnley got Europe, which would mean you would have thought Arsenal won the league.
Yeah,
yeah,
mine was like Arsenal finished third, and then Burnley finished about eighth.
Hmm.
So I went wrong with Arsenal really.
I think to go with I think thinking about if Burnley got Europe, I would have. To be fair, it was a tricky question.
Yeah,
I
It was a
second
tricky
guessed myself. I'm
question.
really annoyed.
You got to back yourself, Charlie. Well, Lewis wins. So well done, Lewis. All
thank
very
you.
proud. And that's the end of this episode of the Hoof It Football Podcast. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for listening, for watching along. We will catch you in the next one. All the best. Ta-ra.